Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Favorite Bands A to Z. The show we're doing throughout the rest of the month of July, where we're starting today. Well, we've already started today, going all the way to Z each and every day. I'm going to name my favorite band that starts with that letter, or favorite artist, right? Last name. And I'm also going to pick a runner-up. All right, and for each pick, I'm going to also give my favorite album from that particular act. So today, D, we are at D. Obviously, this one is pretty easy for everybody, easy for myself. I'm wearing the damn shirt, of course. Deep Purple has to be D, letter D. It's D-Day. D-Day stands for Deep Purple, one of my all-time favorite bands. If they haven't been my favorite band, they're my number 2 band. I've kind of explained this on B when I was talking about Black Sabbath, how either Sabbath or Purple have been like my favorite bands for as long as I can remember. Going back at least 30 some odd plus years, right? They've generally flip-flopped back and forth. Kiss was my favorite band early on. Then it was Sabbath for a number of years. I had a few years where Metallica was probably my favorite band. And then things shifted to Deep Purple and back to Sabbath again, to Deep Purple, back to Sabbath. Deep Purple has been my favorite band probably for the last decade and a half as the dogs keep barking. I will say, the last few months, in 2021, I think Sabbath I've been kind of listening to Sabbath a bit more, and maybe the pendulum has swung once again. Doesn't really matter. They're my 2 favorites. But anyway, D is all about Deep Purple. My favorite album, of course, is The Mighty in Rock. As much as I love Fireball and Made in Japan and Machine Head and Burn and Perfect Strangers and even some of the later stuff, it always comes back to In Rock for me. Just the sheer ferocity of this particular album. This is Blackmore and Lord and Gillan probably at their, fiercest. All right, of course, you got Glover and Pace just killing it underneath. This, one of the most important albums in the history of heavy rock, early proto-metal, that sort of thing, would be the heaviest album the band had ever done. They would go on to slightly more sophisticated sounds after this, right? A little bluesier, a little bit less bombast and distortion and heft, but still a pretty heavy band throughout their time. And, nowadays, of course, much more of a kind of like a classic rock, just straight ahead bluesy hard rock band. But In Rock, pretty special, of course. It hosts one of my favorite Deep Purple songs of all time in Child in Time. All right, you've got so many great songs on here. Speed King, of course, and Into the Fire. I mean, just so many great tunes on here. Love Gillan's performance on here. Love Blackmore on here. Just the whole band. This band does so much for me because I think I love the virtuosity in this band, no matter what the lineup was. I like the fact that they mix some different styles. Right, I love Blackmore when he was in this band as a guitar player. I thought he brought an element of danger and unpredictability to the songs, to the live performances, to the albums. The guy wrote and created a lot of great riffs. The solos are terrific, and again, they're very different. Gillan is perhaps my favorite singer of all time. I love Ian to death. Love the rhythm section, and of course, you got John Lord, my favorite keyboard player of all time. So a lot of great albums. Just love Deep Purple to death. So D has got to be D for Deep Purple. My runner-up, here's what gets interesting. So I saw a lot of people picking all sorts of different bands. From, Dio to Damn Yankees to Derek and the Dominoes to, I saw all sorts of stuff. The Doobie Brothers and... So a lot of good choices, a lot of really good choices. When it comes down to it, though, I'm going to pick probably my favorite band from the last 30 years. George LeMay, you got it again, and there were a couple other people that I saw who picked it. I'm going to go with Dream Theater. Mike Portnoy, if you're watching, had to be you guys, right? And it's got to be this album, my favorite album from Dream Theater, Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from a Memory. Whether you pick this album or whether you pick Images and Words or Awake or Train of Thought, which I like quite a bit, or Octavarium. I mean, there's all these 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence. I mean, so many great Dream Theater albums. Dream Theater probably has captivated me most of any band that kind of debuted, late 80s, early 90s and on. I've seen them live more than any other band ever in all the tons and tons of shows that I've seen, and I generally try to catch them on every single tour. I think there's only one tour that I missed in their entire career, and managed to catch them in the New York area. There were many tours where I caught them multiple times on a tour. You know, if they played the New York metropolitan area like twice on a tour, beginning or end, I would go to all of them. So I've seen my share of Dream Theater tours. So and shows. So yeah, I love what I love about Dream Theater. Always loved about Dream Theater. A lot of great hooks. Their songs are always memorable. I love progressive music and progressive rock and progressive metal, so I love the complexity. I love Petrucci as a guitar player. He's shreddy, but he also comes up with some killer riffs. Keyboards are always really great. Labrie has this way of just singing these harmonies that really works. The rhythms, the drumming, whether it's Mangini or Portnoy and all the original stuff. John Mayung's bass playing, just epic stuff. Shorter stuff doesn't really matter. It all works for me. I'm a big fan. So Dream Theater is my runner-up, but of course the win today goes to Deep Purple, one of the most classic bands on the face of the earth. Love them to death. That is my choice for today. So in the comments below, pick your favorite band or artist that starts with the letter D and your favorite album from that band, and then pick a runner-up and do the same thing. So thanks for watching. It's all about the D's today. Purple and Theater, Deep Theater, Dream Purple, Deep Purple and Dream Theater. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Coming up on the channel, we've got... hopefully getting to some Ranking the Album shows this weekend, and then Monday is the return of the Hudson Valley Squares. Tuesday is In the Prague Seat. Wednesday, New Product Review Day. It's What's Hot with Sea Tranquility Day. Thursday, The Monsters Den coming back up, where we're Rich Catino, Chris Allo, and myself going to be talking about some favorite 70s and 80s exploitation films. And then Martin Popoff back on Friday. So stay tuned for all that and more. And hopefully, if it happens, I've got another really cool interview for you guys. It's kind of a few months after the fact, but Mr. D. Snyder of Twisted Sister fame will be back for the first time. He was originally supposed to be here a couple months ago, but he's got a brand new solo album coming out that he wants to talk about on Napalm Records. So D's coming on the show early in the week, and I'll have that for you beginning of the week. So stay tuned for that, and a lot more here on the channel. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.